Uh-oh, Yale has announced this week that they are going back to test required. Are you wondering what this policy might mean for you and your applications? Make sure you watch this video and stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome back to Lotus Premier Education. My name is Amanda and I want to be your college tutor. We have breaking news for you all this week. Yale has announced that it is joining MIT and Dartmouth in bringing back test required policies. So what does that mean for our students? Well, it's a little bit more complicated than you think. As we spoke about in our last video when Dartmouth released their policy, feel free to check it out in the link down below. We know that this is going to start a slight chain of events. So you should be expecting that more schools are going to be announcing that they're going back to test required. That means if you're a current freshman, sophomore, or junior, you really want to be thinking about your test prep plan. Are you already strategizing for SAT and ACT prep, or is this something you need to start thinking about? But you should make sure that it's a part of your high school plan if possible, because we are anticipating that more schools are going to go back to test required. Now, Yale has announced that they are actually calling their policy test flexible. And what that means is you can submit ACT, SAT, AP, or IB scores, or some combination of the few. Now, they have just announced that this is what their policy is going to be, but we don't have all of the information yet about which of those scores or how many of those scores need to be reported, so you should continue to stay tuned on how this policy evolves. The other thing that's really interesting about this policy is making sure that you are strategizing your plan accordingly, because for a lot of schools, students are not actually able to take AP scores or AP classes until junior year. And that would be in the spring of junior year, so May, June, which means you wouldn't actually get those AP scores back until July before you apply to college. And also in the IB school system, you are usually getting scores back right at the end of your college process. So for a lot of those AP and IB students, you may not have the scores to send to colleges by the time it's time to apply, or you may be gambling a lot, hoping that your scores are going to fall a certain way and only getting one chance to take those tests. So what you should think about is that the ACT and the SAT portion of this test flexible policy is a little bit more predictable. We know that there are multiple chances to take the ACT and the SAT. We know which days they're offered, and we know that you can take them 1 month, 2 months, 3 months back to back, as opposed to the AP or IB scores that you may only have one chance to take. So just make sure that you really think about all the ins and outs of this test flexible policy and what going back to test required means for you. Now, just to recap, Dartmouth, Yale, and MIT have all now announced that they're going back to test required. So we do anticipate that other schools will be heading back in that direction soon. If you have any questions about Yale's announcement, or also about test required, study strategies for SAT and ACT prep, or other things that we can help with, please drop them in the comments and we will either answer them there or we'll make a video about it to answer your question. And make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more insider admissions tips to help you get ahead. The likes, comments, and subscribes are so important, guys, so we hope to see you back here soon on Lotus Premier Education.